Right now, I'm a student and I can only memorize 50% of the content, but obviously I want to aim for 100%. What exactly do I do? Now, a lot of people, they think that just studying more is going to help them just increase their amount of knowledge and increase the amount of knowledge that they retain. Now, a lot of people, they don't realize that it's actually about the number of times that you expose yourself to certain materials, more so than the amount of time that you study. And this is illustrated through something called the curve of forgetting. What the curve of forgetting suggests is that after you expose yourself to material one time, the amount that you retain is actually only 60% after a couple of days. The reason for that is just because you haven't exposed yourself enough to the material. But what you can do is after a couple of days, you stimulate yourself again. So the first time might be just reading the notes before class, just having a bit of, proactiveness. And then afterwards, it's just, attending class instead of just, joking around and playing Clash of Clans in the back row. What you can do is actually pay attention. And what's going to happen is that 60% memorization is actually going to increase to 70%. But that's going to decrease from 100 to 70% after a couple of days. What do you do after that? That's when you expose yourself again to stimulus 3. That might just be going through a practice cycle, practice questions. So again, this is going to increase to 100 and then it's going to dip back down and plateau to a higher number. And what you can see is over time, this minimum is just going to increase. Now this increase, that might not seem like a lot, but someone in the lower range is actually going to remember 60% of the content. That's not necessarily saying that they're going to get 60% on tests, but the average student gets stuck here and they get demoralized because they just try to study something once and then they realize that they can't memorize everything and they think they're dumb and they think that, they're just not gifted enough for VCE. But what this actually means is that they just haven't exposed themselves to the content enough. So what they should do is increase the amount of times that they expose themselves, and essentially the amount that you forget decreases, but the amount that you remember increases. So you can see this 100%. We're getting closer to this 100%. As you increase this more and more, it's just going to keep getting closer to that 100%. And that's the key to succeeding in VCE methods. It's not about increasing the amount of time that you study. It's about increasing the amount of times which you study.